بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وأصلي وأسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. It's been some time. It's been too much crime that I haven't been around. I've been up and down all around trying to catch this money. So our topic for today is very important. I can explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you. I can explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you. So when we look at studying and seeking knowledge and getting degrees, we find that here in the West, when a young boy or young girl grows up, they start off in junior kindergarten, or after that, senior kindergarten. Then they graduate from that adolescence and they go to grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, grade 4, grade 5, grade 6. Here in the West, it's called elementary school. Learning the very basics, the ABCs, the 1, 2, 3, science, a little bit of history, some activities, some gym, some aerobics, some calisthenics, things like that. Then they go to what is known as middle school, where the maths and the sciences are on a higher level of aptitude. Then you reach what is known grade 10, 11, and 12. This is secondary school. Most people, unfortunately, if they can't finish that, society considers you a fool if you can't finish school. Then you have a bachelor's, which is a 4-year program. Then after you finish that, you write a dissertation or a thesis. You're marked on it, and then they graduate you to the next level of scholarship, which would be the master's degree. So that means that you've mastered a certain art, a certain level of aptitude. And then after that is the so-called PhD, what is known as the doctor of philosophy. So in Islam, it's a little bit different than that. There is some sciences that we got to talk about. One of them is what is known as al-usul min ilm al-usul. It's very important because everybody that gets on the membar, they might be a doctor in engineering, they might be a doctor in dentistry, they might be a medical doctor. Doesn't mean they have the tools, the alat to teach the basics of Islam. So when you look at what is known as the foundations of the usul, or the foundations of the knowledge, it's extremely important. Because there's also another concept after you study this, and there's a lot of information in this. There is something called Sulam al-Wusul min ilm al-Usul, which is ascending the steps to learn the foundational knowledge or the usul of the foundation. So how are we going to look at this? We got to unpack this. Sulam means a ladder or steps or stairs. So the steps towards acquiring or reaching the knowledge. You have to have stair-stepped knowledge in Islam. It can't be faked. It can't be something that you buy. It has to be obtained. So an example for this is the CNN or the CN Tower, where they challenge people to walk up all the flights of stairs. Many people that haven't been able to do that. I've never done it myself, but I know a friend who did it, and he almost died. It's a long walk, but it makes your legs strong. So when we look at the situation, here in the West, we have what is known as the concept, and this is deep. Here in the West, we have all the amenities that have allowed us to travel and gain momentum and ability and agility and the ability to rise to higher altitudes. So from amongst that, you find if you go to the airport, they have what they call the people mover. So there's a moving walkway that if you're tired in the airport, you just jump on it and it'll take you a distance. The only effort you have to do is get on it, and the rest is up to the thing. Also, you have the issue of the escalator. The escalator, you have to take the first step. It is a moving staircase that will take you to a higher heights. So this has been made easy for us. Then you have the elevator, aka the lift. It transports people to higher levels or lower levels just by going through a door and pushing a button. So I can explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you. So there are some issues that need to be discussed when you're talking about Islamic scholarship. From amongst them, one of them is usul al-fiqh, extracting the rulings from the evidence on sound footing. That means you have to have some detailed knowledge. So it's step by step, tadarruj yani. As for my understanding, when I first went overseas to study, I went through the door of the Arabic school and they handed me an assessment test, an orientation test. So they gave it to me and you have to fill it out, and depending upon where you stop and how you answer the question, they're able to assess your ability, and then they place you in the proper level. Level 1, level 3, level 5, level 8. But you have to write that test. So when we look at it, brothers and sisters, Western education has some good in it, and there's some good things here in the West. But we're talking about usul min ilm al-usul. You have to have solid foundational knowledge. Sulam al-wusul. You have to be able to ascend and traverse the path. And also we have what is known as al-wasa'alaha ahkam al-maqasid. We judge the means by its ends, or the vehicle that we take will help us get to the ends. So Islamic knowledge is not something that you can read one book or 2 books or 5 books or 10 books or take a weekend seminary or sit and listen to a few tapes or a few classes. It is a momentous journey that will never end. It is something that you have to continue to do if you want to get a little bit of knowledge. So this is an advice to all those that are trying to seek knowledge. And there's many of us that, and I'm included in this, I recently learned this, that a person who speaks multiple languages, they're called a polyglot. How many of us are polyglots? Then there's something called a polymath. That is someone who has excelled and they're an expert in many sciences. Sciences maybe in engineering, in math, in calculus, in languages, and many other things. So there is more that is said and more. Just know that the ladder, it keeps going up higher. You can't buy your way in. You can't fake your way in. You can't just do what you want. Get into a special fraternity, make a couple of handshakes, hang out with the boys, eat some fries, and then all of a sudden you get pulled up to the next level. Unfortunately, this is happening a lot in the Muslim community these days. You know, if you're in with the clique, then they help you get paid. Unfortunately, I'm hearing about a lot of different people that if you're down with this organization, or you're down with that organization, or you attend this jam'iyah, or you go to that jama'at, or if you're hanging out with these different people, then they'll plug you in different areas just because you're down. But don't be a clown. Turn that frown upside down. Start studying today. Because it's not just about getting the pay, it's about understanding what can help you get to the Jannah. With that, هذا ما عندي وصلى الله وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. The masjids are built. Now help us build the people.